is telling you, keep your eyes peeled.
sake of moving. Hold your fucking ground. there. Move. Move it. Move.
Oh, hey, Zon.
This is
It's Ian.
It's me.
How's our favorite Netherlander?
Pretty good.
Yeah, I see that you are still alive.
Yes, I am alive. Still alive. Hello, yes.
You're gonna be alone for the rest of your life, Ian. You may as well get used to it now.
I am getting used to it now.
Besides, you won't be alone when Vermintide 2 comes out.
Oh, I will.
Well, yes. Yes, you will. Physically.
And actually,
And because nobody's gonna play Vermintide 2 with you anymore.
Gotta clear the area of cops or Vile won't be able to get close.
bulldozer down.
Perhaps you should play a video game.
well, I am playing the World of Warcraft. I just got an epic.
Where's your guild, family?
I just got done. Guild.
You mean just got done with the guild, like you left the guild?
No, we just finished the raid.
Oh.
It wasn't even a guild run, it was a pickup group. Normally the worst kinds of groups, but it was done by a bunch of people in like overgeared raiding gear, and they weren't just doing it for the bindings. And everyone on the server gets to roll in free gear. It's great. Spread the wealth. They take all the boss gold drops though, which is fine. It's kind of to be expected. They need that gold.
And what are we playing here? What expansion are we playing? Are we playing vanilla?
Vanilla, yes.
You know, it was funny because I was talking about vanilla World of Warcraft at work. And it's funny because I work with people who are sometimes like, you know, 2 to 6 years younger than I am. And I say to them, oh yeah, I played World of Warcraft back in vanilla and shit like that. Oh, I've only played like, you know, what is it? The Lich King and up. And I'm like, oh, so you never really experienced true World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hello.
Are you
No,
seeing
no.
Marvel, Ian?
That was Marvel?
Marvel,
Yeah, there's
baby.
Marvel going on
It's Marvel, baby. Marvel.
Marvel 3. Ryan LV versus Terry Bogard, a real match. I don't know, it just ended.
Oh, it's a new Marvel?
No, it's 3. You know, the good one. Got you.
Hi.
I don't know, only time will tell if Marvel Infinite will be worth.
And I guess the only thing about the Marvel games, the Marvel fighting games, I would just buy the game just for the characters in it, and that's about it. And if there's no good characters in it, then I'm not gonna play it.
So I'm taking you're not playing Infinite then?
Well, if they got my Arthur in it still, then I may. If they took Arthur out of it, then they can go fuck themselves.
No, Arthur's still in it.
Then they have saved themselves from my wrath.
Well,
I don't
not in my case. They don't have my OG team of Kuma and Wolverine. Nobody.
No, too much.
So they keep insisting using Spencer's shitty design, and that really triggers me.
Oh, the fucking the black Spencer or which Spencer?
Yeah, these are the black Spencer. The one from the bad game, studying from using the one from the good game.
Are you saying it's because he's black? You racist?
No, I'm saying
What are
because
you,
he
some
stars
kinda
the
racist?
bad game.
Fucking Nazi?
Bionic Commando Rearmed is a really fucking good game that I really wish they ported the sequel to PC so I could play it, but I heard it's worse anyways.
Don't like this at all, but fuck it, I'm gonna do it anyway.
Okay, guys, find
Come on, find him.
Bionic Commando, the 3D one, was so bad it bankrupted the company that made it.
You know, that's always an impressive feat.
And it wasn't like a nearly formed one. No, it was a company that was fucking in the game for a long time.
I'm glad you showed up. As you can see, I need some help here.
It was Grin. The only other game I know about them was this futuristic racing game called Ballistics that I had. I feel like I'm the only person who was also in arcades, and the arcade version was pretty cool because it had like this seat where you sat at like 45 degrees off the ground.
Man,
Very futuristic.
speaking of arcades, did I tell you the story that when we were in England, we played arcade Mario Kart?
Ah, dude.
Oh my
That's-
god, it's
I remember
so
that.
awful.
The one of Pac-Man?
No, it's like a custom-made Mario Kart game specific for arcade gameplay, and it's the most awful
Yeah.
thing.
Mario Kart GP. Wasn't it?
I didn't have Pac-Man unless I forget. I mean,
Yeah, the Mario Kart that was made specifically for arcades. Mario Kart GP was made by Namco and had Pac-Man in it.
no, that game was utter trash and really lowered the bar for Mario Kart or any type of arcade racing game for me. Like, it was just so garbage.
Was it this one?
I believe so. Kind of busy at the moment. I can't really look at it too well. But I would say it looks about right. It may have been house
I'm
different.
pretty sure this is the only Mario Kart that they released on arcades. I don't remember a whole lot from it.
A rough day for the NYPD, and it'll get rougher. I'm sure they'll send more reinforcements.
I don't remember a lot from it, but I can see, I don't really see the appeal of playing Mario Kart in the arcade.
Well,
What's
it's
even
like
the point?
it's like classic arcade bragging rights. You go in there, you set a high score, and hope to Christ nobody beats it. The only problem I think with that particular game is when I was talking to Shiny about it, I think she said that they wipe the game or something like that, or they wipe the high scores like every week. So I'm like, well, what the fuck is the point then? If I'm gonna spend my hard-earned money on an arcade and you're gonna wipe my scores, like, Jesus.
Oh wow, they made another Mario Kart Arcade GP in 2014. I don't know that. Oh, wow, and in this new one, if two players hit each other, they fuse.
They fuse?
Yeah, then one player drives while the other shoots projectiles.
That sounds terrible.
And this one not only has Pac-Man, but it also has Don Chan, the drum from Taiko.
Are you saying you wouldn't play as Drum Chan? Do you
Don
hate?
Chan, look at this sassy motherfucker.
Do you hate fun, Mario? Because that's what
I don't
that's
hate
what I'm hearing.
fun.
Because that
Look at
sounds like
this.
you would hate fun.
How
Look,
can I
look
hate
how
this guy?
sassy that motherfucker
Look how
is.
sassy. That's what I said. I can't hate this guy.
He's like a very
he's just-
angry Luigi. Like how
It's
how
just a
Luigi
drum.
became just like the most angry motherfucker.
How can he drive a car? He's just a drum.
Damn it! Come on.
Man, I just watched the new Powerpuff Girls special show where they introduced the fourth Powerpuff, and it's
Wait, I'm
garbage.
sorry. What?
It's fucking terrible. Yeah, they made a 50-minute special where they introduced the fourth Powerpuff, which is literally Poochie. It even ends with her going into space. It literally ends with her going back to her home planet.
Why not just like? Do they just not want this whole like? What was it? You remember the old episodes
Bonnie.
where Princess was a thing, or Bonnie was a thing? That too. Fucking.
Yeah.
What's going on? Like, why?
Oh, well, Bunny died in the same episode. She was introduced, so
Oh, great.
she blew up.
That show's great, eh?
Yeah. Now we have this new Powerpuff. She's black.
Oh, come on. With blue hair, no less.
Oh, she's a teenager. They completely wrecked on a shit ton. Apparently, 10 years before, she's actually the original Powerpuff.
So
He made her 10 years prior to the trio.
and then he just abandoned her. What?
The gimmick is that she was way too powerful for her own good, and every time she every time she got emotional, she blew up. And then there was just one time she blew up really fucking hard, and she just grown afraid of her own powers and just isolated herself in an island without the professor knowing. The professor just thought she died.
That's dumb.
And when she comes back, the first thing the professor does is just immobilize her. And
That's the first thing he does. Not, oh my god, I can't believe my daughter's alive.
Yeah,
So
no,
they're really pushing this whole men are shit narrative, aren't they?
They really are. And also, like, not only was she the original Powerpuff he made 10 years, also when Mojo Jojo was still the professor's lab partner, they were best friends. Oh, and the black Powerpuff name is Ballistina.
I guess because she goes ballistic.
Get down that elevator shaft so you can meet up with Sharon.
But yeah, the whole episode is really infuriating because the original trio just act like fucking incompetent and they just fuck up everything so that Bliss has something to do and saves the day.
Find an escape route and get out and cross the street.
Instead of just like, you know, working together and becoming cohesive.
No, they just the original trio just completely helpless and she has to use her telekinetic powers to save all.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
she has telekinetic powers.
Mario, stop talking about this.
She's way too
You're making me upset.
Are you
Don't worry
triggered?
about it. Are you triggered by this black Powerpuff Girls sword?
Yeah. I'm gonna have a PewDiePie moment in a second here.
This is not a hated gaming moment.
I don't know.
Sorry. You can't get away with this.
And in the end, it ends with him appearing for the first time in the reboot, and then he
Who, Mojo Jojo?
gets him.
Oh,
the devil guy.
him, yeah.
Yeah. And he fuses with Bliss.
I'm sorry?
And then they have a really stupid fight sequence where Bliss gets Saturn and tries to cut Earth in half with Saturn. Some
They're-
bullshit I really lost.
They are like really reaching with that movie, aren't they?
Yeah. Yes, they are. And in the end, Bliss has to put Saturn in its place, so she just says goodbye and just leaves with Saturn because she has to put Saturn in its place, and I don't know why would that take a particularly long time.
Considering
But yeah, she just
they
goes
did
back
it in
to her
like
home.
a half hour or like 20 minutes to move it.
Yeah, no, she's gone. She has to move Saturn. Oh hey, somebody got a level 3 Phoenix Wright on stream on Marvel Top 8. Oh, it's hard adjusted. I didn't even notice was I hard adjusted playing. Nice. The worst part about the whole 50-minute special is how they would constantly make a terrible joke and then they would just proceed to explain the joke.
No, but that's not how you. No,
They kept doing that and it was
that is not a joke.
aggravating.
What you
It's
have.
like that thing some people do, like, hey, do you get it? And
Yeah,
they do it unironically. It's like, oh. Oh no.
That's when you just like up and just be like, oh no, they're retarded. Because that's your only
like there's a
fucking
villain
response.
that is like a chipmunk and then Buttercup just says, oh, that guy is a real nut. And then she literally turns to Bubble and says, do you get it?
See, if they just had it as you're a nut, then that'd be fine. But why did they have to
That'd
take
just be a bad pun in a children's cartoon. That'd be a-okay.
that's
Yeah.
like that would be okay by my book, as far as that's concerned. But why be like, hey, Bubbles, you get that? Do you get it?
And there's another one where Buttercup and Blossom go to talk in private because Bubbles is just being kind of crazy. And then before they go, Buttercup says to Bubbles, don't worry, we're not gonna talk about you. And then once they go behind the counter to talk, Buttercup literally just says, okay, we're gonna talk about Bubbles. She just literally says that.
Well, it just sounds like at that point she's kind of being like a snarky bitch, which is Buttercup's
No, it
character.
doesn't come out at snark though.
Oh, it comes out like what? Like
That's a problem. She just turns to Blossom after they leave and says, okay, we're gonna talk about Bubbles.
as if the who is it? The audience are stupid. That
Yeah,
they can't. That
instead of just talking about bubbles, she just says, "We're gonna talk about bubbles."
that's great.
I like when they do that. We're gonna talk about bubbles. Cut away. Oh, that makes sense now. When they talked about bubbles off screen. The biggest sin you can have. Exposition off screen.
Anyway, the bottom line, it was terrible, and nothing even mattered. There were so many retcons. Her character was terrible. They had to sync the entire trio in order to make even. That was the funniest thing. Liz, in the end, was actually the most tolerable character in this special.
The most
Because
tolerable.
they had to sync. Yeah,
Okay.
she was the most reasonable. Because they had to sync the other three so much to make this work. And if it doesn't work, but they still sunk them.
It sounds to me like they just made her so neutral that it became relatable.
Yeah, that's they're
Like
completely right.
there's no character, more or less. Is that, you know, she's making all this.
Yeah, everyone around her is so fucking dumb that she comes out as the reasonable one.
Right. So of course there's no reason
And after all the
to like, be mad at her or hate her in any capacity.
in the end, it was a fuck ton of retcons, and it didn't even matter because she left in the end anyways.
I'm sorry. What did they retcon? Because I need to know this.
No, I told you the fact that she's the OG Powerpuff.
Okay. I thought you were gonna be like pull some like, yeah, this whole chemical X thing. Turns out the professor's been doing it for years.
Oh yeah,
And he has, like,
actually,
80
I
kids.
forgot about that detail. When he made her, he accidentally mixed chemical W,
I'm sorry.
and he had before that had previously mixed chemicals from the entire alphabet before that. The
So-
reason why he accidentally mixed chemical X was because he had already
Excellent chemist. I've
Yeah, he
mixed
had
chemicals
already
from the
mixed
entire alphabet.
he had already mixed the entire alphabet before X. That's why he ended up mixing chemical X and the Powerpuff.
So what the hell did he get? So that means. Oh man.
He put in some real
The
alpha.
Professor Antonio in this reboot is a complete fucking retard. His character is awful.
It's written by
He's
some
just an idiot.
autist that is in love with one of the characters from the show, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's a whole other can of worms. Oh, and also another thing.
Go into that can of worms because that one's actually hilarious.
Okay, just want to finish the other retcon. But the reason why he even made the original Powerpuff was because another scientist had created the perfect little boy. So what a complete envy, he just tried to create the perfect little girl. Oh, anyway, the other can of worms, Jake Goldman. He self-inserted himself in the show, and Blossom really likes him. And
Oh man.
Like
he basically becomes like a main character in all the episodes he in, and all the episodes Jake Goldman writes, his character, the character's called Jared, but it has an uncanny semblance with him, and it's also voiced by him.
Oh, of course.
And he doesn't hide the fact that he really likes Blossom. And Blossom has a gigantic crush on him, on the Jared character. And it's creepy in every single way imaginable. And they claim it is a joke. Then when you originally introduced the character, the writers claimed it was a joke. Oh, they added this character as a joke, but a joke that wasn't. They claimed Jared wasn't the one who. Fuck, I keep confusing. They claimed Jake wasn't the one that came up with the Jared character. But the matter of the fact is that the Jared character shows up in every single episode Jake has written, and he voiced the Jared character himself. So
yeah,
it's very hard
that's
to
a
believe
bit
that it's not.
too many coinky dinks.
Yeah, there's no way that wasn't a joke. This wasn't a joke made by him.
It's not a joke.
just
It's
just
his
a prank,
fantasy.
bro. Just a prank.
Literally written himself to perv on his cartoon waifu.
This reboot is a train wreck. From fucking removing cerebellum entirely, from removing the professor's tits, no, the teacher. I mean, I forget the name of the teacher, the elementary school teacher.
Like, wasn't it like Miss Apple or something?
I don't remember. The only thing I know is they removed her tits. She doesn't have boobs.
So they removed cerebellum because you can't have beautiful women in it.
Yes, that's the completely missed the point of her character and just written her off as a sexy woman that cannot be in the modern cartoon shows because she's a sexy woman. No matter the fact that she was basically the most powerful character in the show. Because she basically controlled the city of Townsville through the mayor. Also, the mayor is a fucking weird character in the reboot. Like, in the original, he's just a bumbling retard, but there are several episodes where the mayor straight up saves the Powerpuff Girls, and it's so weird and jarring.
You know, it's odd the choices that people make for this show. It really is, because I feel like the original Powerpuff Girls had stronger messages for women empowerment. There was like a whole episode dedicated to it, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
And these guys couldn't
Including female baddies.
Yeah. Like, I can't believe a reboot of this caliber can be so off point. It's unbelievable.
Oh, there you go. That's the good one. Here's the entire motivation for Professor Antonio to make a perfect little girl, because this other person made a perfect little boy.
And they were going to grow up and get married and have perfect more children.
No, he doesn't know that. Damn. The writers have no regard for continuity. Here's another nice disregard for continuity. This was when the professor only had Bliss. They retconned the fact that... Notice how the windows are already color-coded. Notice that the windows already exist and are color-coded. Even though it would be 10 years before he actually made the Powerpuff Girls proper.
Search the hood. Find that evidence. You're looking for evidence that's related to Hoxton.
I mean, that's a minor detail, but I'll concede that point.
Oh, and also in the flashback where it shows Mojo being friends with Bliss, he was already green. Even though he wasn't in the movie green until he became evil. And this is an example of this show's great animation.
No match. Keep looking.
Fantastic animation.
I'm sure it's like stereotypical Flash animation, like we're accustomed to seeing nowadays.
Man, the animation in this reboot is legit one of the worst I've ever seen in my life. There's just so many lazy moments and just straight up animation errors. And just so many times where the characters go completely off the model.
Trader's identity is classified.
Wait, but aren't they doing this digitally? How are they off model?
They're off model. They just characters go completely off model, even though it's
Well,
original.
is it for like the in-betweens for when like they're doing over-exaggerated animation, or it's just like really like they're just kind of standing there and then like an eye is bigger than another or something?
Yeah, they do the weird, exaggerated animations that completely break the art.
So the art style, where nowadays this is supposed to be like this kind of clean art style, they still do the over-exaggerated animation.
Yes.
Let me take an actual look here. Because my thing is... Oh, that's...
Oh, here's a nice screenshot of when Bliss merged with him. It was very fucking weird.
That Professor Utonium animation.
It's... yeah,
That's
quality, mate.
That's brilliant. That's some good shit.
Man, it's a shame that it seems because of the special, people aren't posting the usual shitty screenshots from the show. They're just focusing on the special. Because if they were, I would have a lot more to share.
Oh, like the whole thread's dedicated to the special right now?
Yeah.
Well, that's not surprising.
If we had like Jay Goldman threads, that would be a lot of stuff. Oh, but here's a nice example of the shit ton of animation errors. Just spot the error. Let's play a little game. What is wrong with this image?
It's cursed.
Oh, Bubbles has fucking pink eyes.
Yeah. That's something that they constantly fuck up. They constantly fuck up using the fill tool. These animators are so incompetent. They manage to constantly fuck up using the fill tool.
Good. Now get it back to Hoxton.
Amazing.
Like, the funny thing is, like, because I'm assuming this is Flash that they're working in, they don't even need to use the fill tool. They can just make all their pre-done stuff and then just flip it on and off. And I suck at Flash, and I know that.
So that requires competence.
Like, at
I
least,
just don't think I don't give a shit.
I mean, that's also a possibility. I mean, if I was an animator and the writer handed me the script and everything, I would have been like, nah, you know what I'm gonna do just to fuck with them? I'm just gonna put, like, the Kekistani flag somewhere in an animation, in a bit of animation somewhere, you know? Just to really fuck with the dude. Oh, which brings up another interesting point. Did anyone see that Destiny is getting rid of that skin that people are saying has the
Yeah, I
hate
saw
symbol
that
of
one.
Kekistan on the sleeve of one of the armors or something like that?
Oh, it looks pretty cringy to begin with. Not gonna lie.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, that kind of stuff usually is apparent and obvious. But my first question is, was that the intention, number one? And two...
Wait, what do you mean was it the intention? Did they intend to put it just so they could remove it? What?
No, intentionally put it on into the game, knowing full well what they were putting in there, if at all. Or was it just like a simplistic kind of like adaptation of a design?
You can't deny it was totally the CAC symbol.
I don't know.
If you look at it, it's not something. It's not a resemblance that would come up by accident. It looked pretty intentional.
I don't know. There's a lot of graphic design stuff, and I've seen plenty of images from time and time again that are not parodied or copied, but indirectly made in a similar vein, but are completely different.
Oh, they were just covering their ass. It's not like it was important anyways.
Yeah, but I mean, let's also be real here. I don't think Kekistan is, or like the symbol of Kekistan is an actual hate symbol. It's not like the Anti-Defamation League came out and said, no, nothing. We're not gonna have these Kekistanis throw their propaganda everywhere.
Yeah, sure, but it's just easier to remove it than to try to argue it.
I'm not arguing with Bungie's idea to remove it. I'm not arguing that point at all. It's completely up to Bungie to whether or not they want something to stay or go. I'm talking about the creator in question and whether or not he knew what he was doing. Because some people are just like knowingly ignorant.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe he was just putting in funny internet meme. We'll never know.
Which, you know, entirely possible.
Not even Teen Titans Go managed to piss me off more than this whole Powerpuff Girls thing. Even when Teen Titans Go deliberately insults the original audience. They're both terrible shows, but at least Teen Titans Go doesn't pretend like it's a continuation of the original one. It's very much aware it's a completely different game. It's a completely different show. A completely different tonal, completely different tone.
Yeah, I did not like. I watched one episode and I knew off the bat. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be trash.
Yeah, it is. It's just, but at the very least, they don't pretend like it's Teen Titans. It's the people who write this. It's their own show. The point is, the Powerpuff Girls, they treat it as a continuation. Like, they even try to poorly emulate the original art style.
Emphasis on poorly.
And just fucking retconning shit at will when it's convenient to them. So that's why Powerpuff Girls makes me much angrier than anything that Teen Titans Go can do. Even when they intentionally and deliberately insult the original audience, and even their own audience. It's kind of pathetic, really, some of the episodes where they end up shitting on the people who actually even watch their shit.
Yeah, that's probably not a good idea.
Where's the fun in that, boys? Come on. Oh wait, I should have brought C4 instead. Fuck.
4 shots and 4 transports are taken out. Make it count.
I didn't watch too much of the Titans Go, but my main problem with what I watched is that every single character is an asshole. That's basically it. They're just, for whatever reason, they're just fucking assholes to each other, and for no reason. It's really frustrating.
I don't know what you're complaining about. Sounds great. I'm gonna marathon that tonight.
I don't know. One of the episodes I actually watched was one that Robin's driver license had expired, so he tried taking driving lessons, but his teacher wasn't a real teacher. He was actually a thief that was using robbing for his getaways, and robbing was too much of a fucking retard to notice. And then in the end, for some reason, an interdimensioners, and Robin just lets the thief get eaten by it and doesn't care.
Well, again, I mean,
She just
that show is shit for
he
the
just
sake
leaves
of
a
being
man
shit.
to die for nothing. I was so fucking shocked by that. Like, Robin just he had all the opportunity. He was right next to him, and he knew the monster was coming, and he just let him die.
Like, I understand making a similar, not even a similar show, a different show with the same characters and all that nonsense, but there's a certain point that, you know, the idea of parody goes too far as this is concerned.
Yeah.
Because that's just trash. Like, I understand the whole stupidity factor, like, you know, he's like, you know, Batman's boy detective, more or less, so he should be relatively smart, but given that the show is supposed to be this kind of campy, stupid, childish kind of take,
Well,
instead
I wouldn't use happy. It's just supposed to be childish and comedic, but kind of fails. But at least at the mid, it's a different show. It's not the farce that is the Powerpuff Girls reboot. Cartoon Network was really confident in the Powerpuff Girls reboot. They greenlit 2 seasons before the show aired.
that's... Well, I guess because they figured they still had it in them. I mean, what was it? Chowder did unreasonably well, in my opinion. Same thing with that World of Gumball or what have you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the World Gumball was still going. Chowder was a long time ago. I don't think it counts for anything.
No, you're probably right. What the hell is that other one besides Gumball?
Adventure Time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Adventure Time is ending. It had a really long run.
It's good that it's ending.
But yeah, they really. Yeah.
It was getting a little annoying, and it was getting a little samey, and it was repeating itself a bit.
But yeah, they were really confident when the first season hit. Everybody hated it, and it was like, well, shit. We already have the second season greenlit, so we're just gonna have to power
I don't like that they changed, like, of Adventure Time. I don't like that they changed the target demographic quite clearly from children to adults watching the show.
Well,
Like, they did that very clearly.
I mean, it's shitty that they did that, but they wanted to hit that autism spectrum really hard.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, the alternate spectrum that basically saved the network. Cartoon Network was in deep shit before Adventure Time.
Cartoon Network was in deep shit before autism epidemic.
It's not even kidding.
I know.
They really
all
fucking
matches
doubled down
up.
on those live action shows that went nowhere.
Like, I was
Because they wanted
surprised.
to compete with Nickelodeon.
I mean, I don't know who the fuck is in charge, like the CEO right now of Cartoon Network, but it's like, guys, live shows ain't gonna fucking save your network. Alright, in fact, they're gonna fucking kill you. Because then you're gonna end up in like a Disney-esque situation by being like, oh man, we got Jake Paulers here. Do you want that? Because that's what you get.
I mean, at least Disney XD has been getting some good cartoon shows, at least like Star Versus and Yonder, Wander Over Yonder, which is made by the Craig McCracken, the creator of the original Powerpuff Girls. And poor Craig, like he had absolutely nothing to do with the reboot, and from his tweets, it's very clear that he's deeply saddened by it.
Well, if I was a creator of some type of IP and then I just see it getting bastardized in such a hideous manner, I'd be pretty fucking pissed too.
Thanks for breaking. Someone set me up, I'm sure of it. The feds have too much on
You know, I'd be straight up like, you cocksuckers don't know the first fucking rule of what I was attempted to do here.
and I'm gonna find out who. No, it ain't gonna be easy. No fanning about around the edges, right? No shadowy deals or contacts about bollocks. We're going to the source, the biggest FBI next. Gonna find out who screwed me.
Oh, this is weird. Like, this tweet from Brockcock is a clip from the episode, and her voice is terrible, but it isn't the voice she had on the, at least on the stream I watched. Apparently, she has multiple VAs.
Who does?
Bliss, the Powerpuff.
That's dumb.
Like the one in the twit is like, it's such a black voice. It's funny, but the one we got,
What, she's just
we
straight up
actually got-
like, hold up.
she should have just nobody messes with my sisters.
Ain't nobody.
I don't know, I feel like it should be like a little bit, like, higher up in the pitch, you know? Be like, nobody messes with my sisters.
I didn't post it. Oh, I don't think it shows her. I don't know. This clip shows. This clip shows like the thing that annoys me the most about her design is how far her legs are apart.
She's a teenager, man.
It's so off. Like one of the main things that strikes about me with Powerpuff Girls is how their legs are always like glued together. Her legs are just spread apart. It just looks so unnatural. Also, the fact that she has hips, which is another thing that's really striking about Powerpuff Girls, the fact that their torso and waist and hips is just a straight line. While Bliss has pronounced hips, it just really bothers me more than her skin color or their hair color that completely clash. There has been a fair share of people virtue signaling. I think there's people who are mad at a powerful female because she's black, but I think those people are in the minority. Most people see this for the stunt it is. Especially since they couldn't even commit and just have her leave in the end of the episode.
Keep an eye on whichever one of you is carrying the server. Make sure they get back safe.
Now here's a good screenshot of another thing they have a lot of problem with. They don't know what perspective is.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's... That's perspective and foreshortening.
Put your motherfucking hands up! Now that goddamn... Robert! Get down! Manos arriba! I killed it! Hands up! Get on your knees! Now, come. Turn it back!
SWAT is stepping up, guys. This will get hairy.
Three assailants confirmed. Might be more. Sort this out. Got the shield! Suck it, medic!
They just set another civilian free. We gotta focus on the civilians.
Uno is a cabrón dead!
Look at me. Files here and linking to some physical evidence down in the lab. Get down there and check it out. Get inside the evidence room and find the evidence related to Hoxton's case.
Watch out! Bulldozer!
Be ready for anything.
I'll be as quiet as a church mouse till you're back. Dozer's here! You're up and we're coming! Dozer is dead!
too bad the new Rick and Morty is gonna be in an hour and a half still. Gotta sleep soon.
Yeah, we're going to sleep as well.
Oh well.
I'll watch it tomorrow.
Okay, you're in. I've sent the security clearance request. You need to approve it. Keep your knickers on, lads. Need to find all the files for you to sign off. Alright, just approve that request. For me, he's got an easy job. Okay, another request you need to approve.
Put your fucking hands up. Don't get on your knees. Cuffs on.
Man, Chris G putting Rylan Z in his fucking place.
Let's keep this going.
I'm just watching more Marvel. Yeah. Chris G just denied the level 5 Phoenix with Soul Steel. It's pretty cool.
Pretty good.